All righty. Welcome, week 2 fantasy rankings. Welcome to Fantasy Football Insider, brought to you by True Fan Sports. I am your host, Jay the Warden Ward, with my co-host here this evening, David the Guru Hughes. What you got for him today, Guru?
Hey, we got some pretty decent rankings headed their way. Again, we're tuning into Fantasy Pro Insiders for a reason, and hopefully we get them over the top. And we'll begin our rankings just like every other show does with quarterbacks. And you can get us started, Jay.
All right, here we go. Let's kick this thing off this evening. We're going to bring you the top rankings of the week, help you get that win this weekend for your fantasy league. Starting off, number 1 QB ranking for week 2, Dak Prescott, Dallas Cowboys. Number 2, Patrick Mahomes of the Kansas City Chiefs. Number 3, Russell Wilson, followed by Kyler Murray at the number 4 spot. Coming in at number 5, the big arm Josh Allen, looking for a bounce back week. Another bounce back week going at number 6 will be Lamar Jackson. At 7, the GOAT, the great GOAT, that is, Tom Brady of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. At number 9, a lot of surprises from this gentleman here, but we all know he's good to go, Aaron Rodgers of the Packers. Number 9, from the Los Angeles Chargers, Justin Herbert. At number 10, Jameis Sweet Feet Winston. Yeah, he got some damn smooth. Number 11, coming in at number 11, Philadelphia Eagles, Jalen Hurts. And with number 12, he lit the Chicago Bears up, and that's Matthew Stafford. No surprise. He just thought he was in Detroit again. He said, I'm going to light the Bears back up again, but in a new uniform. And that's at number 12, Matthew Stafford.
Yeah,
All right, Google, what do you got for
He's been at it for a decade. He switched uniforms. He didn't switch jobs.
Exactly. All right, what do you got for us, partner?
We're going to go number 13. We're going to go to Minnesota Vikings, Kirk Cousins. Number 14, moving up the rankings this week, healthy notch. Tyrod Taylor from the Texans has got that offense banging right off the bat, which is a good sign for him and the Texans. Number 15, Joe Burrow from the Bengals. Hopefully he doesn't show up that high, to be honest. They play the Bears this week. Hopefully the Bears can put him under. Number 16, the rookie from New England, Mac Jones. Number 17 would probably be higher, but they seem to be going with a 2-quarterback system out there in San Francisco. Jimmy Garoppolo from the Niners is number 17. Number 18 is Cleveland Browns' Baker Mayfield. He had a nice game this past weekend and looks to build on that momentum. Number 19, Tua Tags from the Miami Dolphins, getting Will Fuller back. And it is probably his best weapon on offense out there, back into the fold, and going to make life easier for everybody involved out there. Number 20, from the Denver Broncos, Teddy Bridgewater. They seem to be pretty happy and content running the ball. But Teddy Bridgewater managed a nice game for him, threw a little bit around, did enough for them to play well and get their W. Derek Carr from the Raiders comes in at number 21. Matt Ryan, I'm still got him in the top 25, although if they don't turn it around this week big time, it's not going to happen for much longer, that's for sure. Yeah, that offense is in big trouble. Number 23, looking for another bounce back week from this gentleman, Carson Wentz. Did not have a very spectacular debut there in Indy. Hopefully he turns that around. Number 24, after that second half of last week's game, I might have him a little bit low. They're playing on Monday night against the Packers, and that's Jared Goff. That could be a shootout. You might want to keep your eye on that ranking. And number 25, Ben Roethlisberger from the Steelers. Lots of weapons out there for him, and they're looking to continue their momentum from early on. And that rounds out the top 25 quarterbacks for the week. What jumps out at you real quick from the quarterbacks?
Jumps out the quarterbacks, that group there, looking to see another good week for this gentleman here as he's replacing one of the greatest, could be arguably one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time, Drew Brees. So I'm looking to see Jameis Winston again in week 2 and see how he plays this week again, see if he can stay consistent out there in New Orleans.
Yeah, same here. Same here. I'm really, as I mentioned before in previous weeks, looking forward to seeing that young man succeed. He's had a rough go of it early in his career. They may have been asking a little bit too much out of him there in Tampa, but when you got a chance to sign the GOAT, you got to go with it.
Mm-hmm.
And the other young man I'd like to see do well is Carson Wentz. Didn't get treated very well in Philly, to be honest. He was pretty successful there, but just got shown the door. That's their call, and hopefully he makes them pay for it.
All right.
That said, week number 2, the running back rankings. We're going to jump into that real quick. Number 1, it's a no-brainer. As long as he's carrying the football and he's upright, Christian McCaffrey has got to be your number 1 guy. He's matchup proof. We've seen backs like that in the past. Priest Holmes, LaDainian Tomlinson, Marshall Faulk leaps to mind. He destroyed everybody. And that's what you got with Christian McCaffrey. Number 2, Alvin Kamara from the Saints. Number 3, Dalvin Cook from the Vikings, looking to build on a nice, solid week 1. Derrick Henry from the Titans, looking to bounce back. Offensively, that whole team kind of crawled into a hole, and Henry was right there with them. Speaking of a team that offensively crawled in a hole, I don't know if they crawled in it or I got slammed in it, but Green Bay didn't show up week 1 to save their soul.
Yeah.
Hopefully Aaron Rodgers has a lot to prove this week, as far as everybody else, as well as everybody else on that Packers offense. They all stunk to high heaven. It stinks from the top down. Aaron Rodgers was awful this week. Number 6, Jonathan Taylor from the Colts.
Okay.
Number 7, Joe Mixon from the Bengals. Number 8, the rookie from the Steelers, Najee Harris, looked very explosive at times. Didn't have a great game, but did show promise. He did look the part of a first-round pick.
Right.
And hopefully he got some confidence. Number 9, David Montgomery from the Bears, creeping into the top 10 this week. Hopefully he builds on his very good week 1 as far as fantasy numbers go.
Okay.
The Bears took it on the chin, but he showed up to play.
Yeah.
Rounding out the top 10, we're going to go with Austin Eckler from the Los Angeles Chargers.
All righty. All righty. Let me get right back into here. I had my notes went off here. Let's see. At number 11. Hey, let me gather my notes. Sorry about that there, partner.
It happens.
All right. Number 11, we have, excuse me, Saquon Barkley, New York Giants. At number 12, looking to see Zeke bounce back on the Cowboys. At number 13, Nick Chubb from Cleveland. 14, DeAndre Swift out of Detroit. 15, out of Washington football team, Antonio Gibson. At number 16, Clyde Edwards from the Chiefs. Number 17, Chris Carson out of Seattle. 18, 1 Miles. That's Miles Sander. It's with the Eagles. At number 19, the other Miles, but this Miles is out of Miami, and that's Myles Gaskin. And at number 20, rounding out the top 20 of running backs for week 2, Melvin Gordon from the Denver Broncos.
I see the Miles brothers next to each other there, Miles Sanders and Myles Gaskin. It makes me think of, I don't know why this jumps in my head, the Green Mile. Just like coffee, only spelled different, sir. Or just like the drink, only spelled different. their names are spelled a little different, but it still comes out to Miles. Okay, we're going to enter into the next set of 10 at 21. James Robinson from the Jags. He was not used typically well in the first game out, and Urban Meyer caught a little flack for that. And hopefully he depends on him and leans on him to get that young quarterback down there accustomed to the NFL game. You got to lead on the run game, and you got to workhorse back. They need to take advantage of that. Number 2 from the Rams, or 22, Daryl Henderson from the Rams. 23, Chase Edmonds from the Cardinals. Number 24, and maybe this is high ranking considering that offense, but they got to get back on track this week. That's Mike Davis from the Falcons.
Okay.
Number 25, we'll go with the Browns, Kareem Hunt. It's kind of a fantasy mismatch there because you never know which one of those gentlemen are going to have the better week.
Right.
You just don't. They're both phenomenal running backs in a good system. Hopefully, get the rankings correct this week with those two. Number 26 from the Las Vegas Raiders, Josh Jacobs. If he didn't get banged up at the end of that game the other night, I'd probably have him a few notches higher. He did have a great game against a stout defense. But we'll see how it turns out this week, and if he does, if he is all right, you can move him up in your rankings a little bit. Number 27, the rookie Elijah Mitchell from the Niners. He came on in relief of Mostert, who got injured, and he's going to be the man there for a little while. Number 28 is Devin Singletary from Buffalo. Number 29, the Patriots' Damien Harris. And that fumble at the end of the game cost them dearly. Probably a W, to be honest.
Yeah.
And rounding out the next 10 is Leonard Fournette from the Bucks.
All righty. Moving right along at 31 from Texans. He had a good week there. He was one of those prime picks of the weeks there. We had to take a look at this guy a little bit more for this week. That's Mark Ingram with Baltimore. I'm sorry, Mark Ingram out of the Texans now. He's down in Houston. Sorry about that. At number 32, the other back out of Tampa Bay, Ronald Jones. 33, we've got Jamal Williams from Detroit, another two back set out there. At 34, got to keep an eye on this guy. We'll see what the health of Josh Jacobs looks like this week. So keep an eye out on Kenyon Drake of the Las Vegas Raiders. At 35, Tyson Williams out of Baltimore. This young kid had a really good game, so he's going to be another guy we got to keep an eye out for. 36, Latavius Murray out of Baltimore as well. If the young guy can't get it, Latavius Murray will be the one that you want to keep on, maybe possibly keep on your roster there. At 32, we've got Nyheim Hines out of Indianapolis Colts. I'm sorry, that's 37. 38, Tevin Coleman out of the New York Football Jets. 39, A.J. Udellin out of Green Bay. And rounding out our top 40 of running backs for week 2 will be Javonte Williams out of Denver Broncos.
And briefly, before we jump ahead to the running backs, what about the running backs? What do you think of the new starters or anybody potentially jumping in?
If I had to go with one, I would look to see Zeke. I'm going to see how Zeke does this week out in Dallas. Dak Prescott lit him up. No surprise there. Bounced left right off where he left off after that. Picked up where he left off after that injury. So I'm looking to see that the Cowboys give Zeke some more carries there and looking for him to have a big week this week. So I'll keep an eye out on him.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. Him and Saquon Barkley both. Barkley was more taken easy because of the injury. Zeke, on the other hand, he was just a product of the game plan. They got behind and they had to keep close. And, so unfortunately, Prescott had to throw 58 times in that game. And, it doesn't bode well for running backs in that case. But Zeke's talented, very talented. I think he's going to bounce back and have a great week.
All right. Well, let's move on to the wide receivers rankings, Guru. Kicking off number 1 out of Green Bay, Devontae Adams. Number 2, the Cheetah, Tyreek Hill out of Kansas City. Number 3, the go-to man out there in Arizona, and that's DeAndre Hopkins. He had a great week. Number 4, Big Smooth, I like to call him, DK Metcalf out of Seattle. Number 5, looking to see this young man bounce back again. Had a great year in Buffalo last year, and that's going to be Stephon Diggs at 5. Number 6, this young kid lit it up. He had a great game in Dallas. His counterpart will probably have a better game. But we're going to look to see this man move up in the rank. He's going to continue to move up. That's C.D. Lamb out of Dallas. 7, another young kid out of Minnesota, Justin Jefferson. At number 8, we're hoping that these two can connect this weekend down there in Atlanta. Matt Ryan and his guy, his new go-to guy, and that would be Calvin Ridley out of Atlanta. Number 9, A.J. Brown out of Tennessee. And our top 10 receivers for this week coming in number 10 will be Tyler Lockett out of Seattle.
Yeah, and we'll got 2 of them there from Seattle. That's why we had Russell Wilson ranked so high. They got an easy matchup this week.
Yep.
They should be able to light things up on offense. Speaking of being able to light things up on offense, number 11 on our wide receiver rankings is Amari Cooper. Had a phenomenal week one. Still got CD for the time being ranked ahead of him. Saw some great things from Lamb in training camp, and Cooper is not ready to relinquish that role as the number one receiver yet.
Not yet.
But CD's going to have to take it from him. That's for sure. It's going to be a dogfight between those two, and I think they're going to both have a great season. Number 12, go to the Bears, Allen Robinson, and talent-wise, he'd be a few notches higher, but we got a red-headed wall in our way, so we have to overcome that, and hopefully we do soon enough. We get Fields on the field and let Allen Robinson be the receiver that he's meant to be. Number 13, from the Los Angeles Rams, we have Cooper Kupp. Number 14, we have Antonio Brown. He moved up way up in the rankings this week. He appeared to be Tom Brady's favorite weapon of choice there, even above Gronk, even though Gronk had a 2-touchdown game. He looked at Antonio Brown often. Maybe that's because he was wide open all game, because the defense is leaning on Evans and Godwin so hard. But who knows how that's going to play out. But right now, Antonio Brown looks like he's trying to be the number one guy there. Number 15, Keaton Allen from the Chargers. Number 16, going back to the Bucs, we'll go with Chris Godwin. Number 17, Robert Woods from the Rams. He had a decent game week one. Not a great week, but he had a decent week. Just one more of Stafford's weapons out there. 18 was Terry McLaurin from the Washington football squad. Number 19, Will Fuller. Hopefully he makes a big impact there in that Dolphins offense and helps them spread that out a little bit and get the whole offense clicking. Okay. And number 20, and we're going to go back to the Panthers, and DJ Moore.
All right.
Started off the season well as well.
Okay. We'll keep this thing moving here. Number 21, Adam Thielen out of Minnesota. 22, another receiver out of Tampa Bay, 3-receiver set. This is going to be Mike Evans out of Tampa Bay. 23, Deebo Samuel out of San Fran. At 24, Corey Davis out of the football team Jets. I'm sorry, not football team, New York Football Jets. 25, his first year out in the new city, Julio Jones out of Tennessee. At 26,
out of the coach's doghouse.
That's right. Hopefully he gets out there. Yeah. Verbo was not happy with that. 26, Sterling Shepard out of the New York Giants. 27, Jamar Chase, the rookie out of Cincinnati. Number 28, we like Brandon Cooks out there in Houston at number 28. Tyrod Taylor's go-to guy. 29, DJ Shark out of Jacksonville. And then rounding out the top 30, I'm going to go with Cleveland. I'm going to see what's going on out there. And it's going to be Jarvis Landry at number 30.
Jarvis Landry had a nice game without Odell Beckham Jr. week one.
Yeah, he sure did.
Hopefully Beckham gets back on the field and, at least lets the defense shy away from Landry a little bit. He's a talented man. He's a hell of a receiver. Getting on to number 31 in our wide receiver rankings. We're going to go with why don't you give us the next 5, Jay?
Yeah, we're going to go Mike Williams out of Los Angeles Chargers at 31. At 32, we're going to go with Cortland Sutton out of Denver. 33, we're looking at Juju out there in Pittsburgh. Let's see what Juju can do this week. At 34, another receiver out of Miami, Jalen Waddle, I'm sorry. And then out of Carolina at number 35, this guy's probably going to be the number one receiver out there with his new quarterback, and that's Robbie Anderson out of Carolina.
Yeah, thanks for that, Jay. My teleprompter went down for a minute.
Yeah, no problem. We'll stay ready. We stay ready.
All right, my man. All right, well, then we'll go right into the next 15 here. 36, the rookie from the Eagles, Devontae Smith. 37 from the Patriots, Jacoby Myers. 38 is going to be the Bengals' T. Higgins. 39 is going to be one of many Steelers' weapons in the air, and that's Chase Claypool. Number 40 is the 49ers, Brandon Ayuk. Number 41, the Bengals' Tyler Boyd. 42, we're going to go with Marquise Brown from the Ravens. 43, from the Giants, we're going to go Kenny Galladay. Number 44, we're going to go to the Saints and Marquez Callaway. Number 45, the Jags, Laviska Shenault. Had a nice little week 1. And let's see, number 46. I mentioned before that if this man don't turn his season and actually receiving career around, we're going to change his name from Mecole Hardman to Mecole Softman, because he plays in one of the best offenses in the league with arguably the best quarterback in the last 10 years in the league, and he's not facing any serious defensive threats on a weekly basis. He's kind of the ignored man, as a matter of fact, and he's not able to take advantage of that situation. Okay. And when you have teams that are double teaming and sometimes triple teaming Kelsey and Hill, you got to find yourself a way to get open and make use of that field that's empty on that side. He's not done that yet in his career, so they may look in a different direction soon if he don't turn it around. 47, Marvin Jones Jr. from the Jags. Number 48, didn't do very well in his first game in that number 1 role in Indianapolis with T.Y. Hilton being down. It's Michael Pittman. Number 49, we're going to go Cole Beasley from the Bills. Looked to quite a bit in that offense. Didn't have a great game, but none of them did. And number 50 kind of blew up this week. Christian Kirk from the Cardinals will round out our top 50, and they were surprising the way they went to that guy, and they were very successful in week 1. All right, then we will jump into the tight end rankings for week 2. Tight end rankings are coming at you real quick, and I just wanted to say he's number 2 in our rankings, but I know you're a big fan of this team in Las Vegas, the Raiders, with Darren Waller. What did you think of his first game this year?
Not surprised. Baller.
Yeah. He showed up second half of the last season and was explosive. And so that surprised everybody. I mean, everybody thought he was going to be okay, but nobody expected him to put up 800 or 900 yards in 8 weeks and almost double-digit touchdowns. Yep. He was phenomenal. But we'll get to him. He's number 2. Travis Kelce is number 1 till further notice. Again, he's matchup proof at the tight end position. Number 2 is from the Raiders, Darren Waller. He's your 1A, basically. He's right there behind Kelce at this point. Number 3, George Kittle from the 49ers. Number 4, looking to have a bounce-back week. Even though the Ravens played okay on offense, this kind of man was just kind of a forgotten man. That's Mark Andrews. Number 5, from the Lions, T.J. Hawkinson. He had a huge game week 1. They had to air the ball out in the second half, and they looked his way a lot. And he delivered. Number 6, from the Broncos, we have Noah Fant. Number 7, old steady, Rob Gronkowski. He's moving up the rankings. Going to find himself in the top 5 with another week like he had. That's Tom Brady's, that's his crutch. Pretty soon he's actually going to be on crutches. But he's still going to be throwing the ball well.
Yeah.
Number 8 will be Jonnu Smith from the Patriots. Number 9 from the Washington football team, Logan Thomas. And rounding out the top 10 will be the Philadelphia Eagles' Dallas Goedert.
Okay. Moving on, number 11 out of Atlanta, Kyle Pitts. Let's see what they can do out there in Atlanta, get this offense spark. Number 12,
they'd be smart if they would look that kid's way often.
Exactly. Number 12, Tyler Higbee out of Los Angeles Rams. 13 out of New England, Hunter Henry. Out of Green Bay, number 14, Robert Tonyan. Jared Cook coming in at 15 out of the Chargers, out of Los Angeles there. Number 16, the Chicago like this young kid, Cole Kmet. 17, Austin Hopper. A nice game out there in Cleveland. See what he can continue on. Will Diesley coming in at 18 out of Seattle. David Juku out of New Orleans at 19. And rounding out the top 20 tight ends, another tight end out of there, Philadelphia. He's another one you got to keep your eye on because you just never know. And that's Zach Ertz out of Philadelphia.
Yeah, and it would be nice to be able to know ahead of time.
Yeah.
Like with the situation in Tampa Bay, which one of those three receivers or which one of these two tight ends we're going to be favored on a given basis. We're never going to get them 100% correct. We're going to have Evans in spot 15 and he's going to end up in spot 3 for the week, or we're going to have Godwin way down at 22 and he'll end up at 3, or, like Brown, I had him in the 40s or in the deep 30s last week, and he ended up being one of the top 2 or 3 receivers of the week. So, you're just never going to know. The offense is so good, so diversified. We're going to do our best to get you, the prognostication that we think is going to happen, but you're never going to be 100% right. Hopefully we got them as close as we can get. That said, I think we're going to move on to the, where are we going? Kickers.
I'm going to go to the kickers. Yeah, we look at the kickers. Coming in at number 1 out of Baltimore, Justin Tucker. Harrison Butker coming in next at 2 out of Kansas City. Greg Zerlin coming out of Dallas, but we're going to keep him at that number 3 spot. He's still pretty consistent. We'll see, though.
It's all about opportunities.
Exactly. He'll get them. Number 4 out of Buffalo is Tyler Bass. Matt Gay coming in at the 5 spot out of Los Angeles Rams. 6, Dustin Hopkins coming in out of the football team in Washington. At number 7, Matt Prater, Arizona. Ryan Suckup coming in at number 8 in Tampa Bay. At number 9, Chris Boswell in Pittsburgh. And number 10, automatic gold, that's Robbie Gold, San Fran.
Yeah, the old timers still putting them up there, man.
Yeah.
In Chicago. That said, we move on to the second group of 10 kickers here from the Atlanta Falcons. And, it's a shame because he's one of the top 3 kickers in the league, but he's in one of the bottom 3 offenses. Matter of fact, I don't even know that they got him within field goal range last week, to be honest. I mean, it wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
Young Hoku, huge leg. Hopefully they get that ship righted there. Number 12, Mason Crosby from the Green Bay Packers. Number 13, Brandon McManus from the Broncos. Number 14, we're going to go with Rodrigo Blankenship. That's from the Colts. Indianapolis Colts. They moved from Baltimore. Number 15, Daniel Carlson from the Raiders. Number 16 is Nick Folk from the Patriots. Number 17, Joey Sly from the Texans. Number 18, Evan McPherson from the Bengals. Number 19 is Greg Joseph from the Vikings. And rounding out the top 20 is Josh Lambo of the Chargers. And that polishes off what we're bringing as far as the kickers go. And there's not really a whole lot of excitement to talk about in kickers. We'll move right into the defense.
Let's go.
All right, number 1. They kind of manhandled our Bears, although they had it a little easy with the quarterback that we had. The Los Angeles Rams. Number 2, the Patriots. Again, not because I think they're the second best defense in the league. They're obviously not. It's all matchup based. They're playing a young team. They're playing the Jets, young quarterback. First divisional game for them. I think they're going to be a little intimidated. I think the Patriots are going to hand it to them on the defensive end of the ball. Number 3, that Washington football team again. Who they are, I don't know.
They're the
Washington football team. Number 4, the Tampa Bay Bucks. Number 5, looking to bounce back on the offensive and defensive side of the ball, the Buffalo Bills. Number 6, the Denver Broncos. Number 7, we're going to go to the Pittsburgh Steelers, Steel Curtain. Number 8, Cleveland Browns. Number 9, I'm going to go with the Cincinnati Bengals. If they're looking at a full game with the Bears and Andy Dalton, they're going to feast. I really hate to be so negative on my Bears, I do, but that offense just looks stagnant, except for the running game. The running game looked fine, but you or I could hand the ball off to David Montgomery.
Exactly.
It
All
doesn't
day
open. It
long.
doesn't open up the game. It doesn't open up the field for the receivers. It doesn't make a potent offense. Number 10, rounding out the top 10, is the Baltimore Ravens. I think they normally would be ranked a little higher than that, but button heads with the KC Chiefs this week. It's hard to rank them any higher than number 10.
All righty, yeah. Moving on, number 11, New Orleans Saints. Coming in at 12, Green Bay. 13, we're going to look at the Los Angeles Chargers. At 14, Carolina Panthers. 15, we're going to go look at Pete Carroll's defense out there in Seattle. 16, week 2 rankings. We're going to keep seeing what Urban Meyer's new Jacksonville defense is going to look like. We'll see what they can do. At 17, Tennessee Titans. 18, the Houston Texans. 19, the Philadelphia Eagles. And at 20, we're coming in with the Bears out of Chicago. All righty. So that right there wraps up your week 2 rankings from your quarterbacks, running backs, receivers, tight ends, kickers, defense, special teams. So, a lot of work went into behind this. He's not called the guru for just any reason. This man puts in the work night in and night out. Got all the facts right there, right underneath his eyes, and you're gonna be able to sack your league this week if you take a look at the ranking that we dished out to you guys, and hopefully you guys can get some dubs this weekend. Guru, anything left for the fans before we get out of here?
Well, maybe not. This could be from both of us. I wanted to just ask you about the week 2 rankings. Anything jump out at you this week as far as movers and shakers? Who needs to perform? Who needs to step up? And it could be at any position. Or who do you think that overproduced this week that can continue to do so? And I'll lay one example on you. In my opinion, the guy who I think that overproduced is in week 1, and I think he stands a good chance to do it again, is Melvin Gordon from the Broncos. Nice game on the ground. Yeah, the rookie there is cutting into the running game a little bit, and Javonte Williams, but you got a veteran who doesn't normally cough the ball up, in a very good offensive unit there as far as offensive line. They take care of the quarterback. They take care of opening holes. And I think he only had 17 carries, but he had over 100 yards and a score. And that's about all he needs. If he gets anywhere from 16 to 20 carries, he's going to be a better than average RB2.
Yeah. Okay. I would say if I'm going to look at the disappointments of the week, Guru, this guy was, he disappointed a lot of fantasy fans out there, because this is not the norm. But when you're out for so long, you're not participating in any preseason games, you can't just pick it up. And, it might like riding a bike again, but you got to oil that chain up a little bit there, buddy. And that's Aaron Rodgers out of Green Bay there. You know what I mean? He was disappointing to a lot of fans out there. A lot of fantasy teams didn't put up any scores, didn't get out to his big man Devontae Adams all week, and they got a lousy 3 points. So looking for Aaron Rodgers to bounce back with a disappointment week 1 there, Guru.
Yeah, that actually branched out in many directions because a bad week from the quarterback. Obviously, Robert Tonyan, the tight end, suffered. Devontae Adams, a lot of people make that quarterback wide receiver stack. And right off the bat, man, when you do that, and this week 1, and you get a disappointing week like that, it makes you just want to trade both of them in a heartbeat. Don't give up on your stack.
Absolutely.
If you got Adams and Rodgers, or thank goodness. If you played it the other way and you have Mahomes and Hill, you blew up in week 1.
Yeah, exactly.
Or the other way. A lot of people stack Mahomes and Kelsey. Either way, you did well.
They are not a tandem that you need to put onto your bench. Keep these guys in your lineup. Trust us.
Yeah. And just be patient. Be patient. There's a few other names out there. Ezekiel Elliott. Just be patient. They were just a product of the bad. The defense let him get behind. They had to throw. Elliott's going to be fine. Saquon Barkley is another one who, he was limited in carries. They have a short week. They didn't want to just rush him in to week 1 and give him 26 carries and then 5 days later give him another 27 carries. Hopefully this week they bounce back, give him the right amount in the offense. But keep your eyes on the situation. If they say all week he's going to be limited, hedge your bets. You may want to go with another running back if he's your running back 2. Now, if he's your 1, you just got to take that gamble. But if he's lucky, if you're lucky enough to be in a situation where he's your number 2, and they say he's going to be limited, you might want to bump somebody else into your lineup and maybe depend on a Kareem Hunt this week. Take a chance maybe on Ronald Jones. After that fumble, he was benched last week. He's got a lot to prove. You think he's going to blow up this week. Damien Harris is another man who could be your number 2 in a situation like this. And also Josh Jacobs is another man to keep an eye on, because if he's banged up or if he's listed as questionable or might be out, then Kenyon Drake will become a must start. You'll need to get him somewhere in your lineup somehow at the flex or wherever, but he'll be a must start if Jacobs is slowed or hampered by the injury.
All right.
That's all I got this week, man. If you want to take us out, lead us out.
Yeah, absolutely, Guru. Well, that is all we have for this evening, football fans out there. Again, I am your host, Jason the Warden Ward, with David the Guru Hughes. Glad you guys came in this evening. Check out our rankings for the week. This time now, we're going to go ahead and end this off. We're going to say stay blessed. We're going to say stay healthy and stay good fans of the season, everyone. Let's have a good night.
Peace out, folks, and good luck this Sunday in your matchups. Take care.